Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball guessing game. I'm picking my numbers for the drawing on March 20th, 2023. If you'd like to support my game, Decoding the Powerball, then please go to my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. Thank you, and please subscribe. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, the object of my game is for you to correctly eliminate groups of numbers. There are 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. Only 5 numbers can come up as winners, so that means 64 numbers can't come up at all. So for me, I think it should be easier to pick the numbers that won't be coming up than the 5 that actually do. Okay, with this video, I invite you to grab some paper and play along. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the game card. This is where I try to eliminate the numbers and try to get it down to the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so you can see that I have 5 colors on my game card. They are red, orange, green, blue, and purple. And these 5 colors represent the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go to the Powerball homepage, find out what those 5 white numbers were, and they were the 14, 20, 30, 54, and 69. The red ball, the Powerball, was the 11, but right now I'm only concerned about these 5 white ball numbers. Okay, so I put those 5 white ball numbers at the top of this list. Again, it was the 14, 20, 30, 54, and 69. And now I'm going to put some colors to these numbers like I did here in the past. Okay, so you can see what this game card is for March 18th, 2023. So I need to update it to the 20th. But before I do, I need to get the colors off of this game card for these numbers. Okay, so the 14 was purple, the 20 was red, the 30 was blue, the 54 was green, and the 69 was orange. Okay, so the 14 was purple, the 20 was red, the 30 was blue, the 54 was green, and the 69 was orange. Okay, so all 5 colors came up, which is pretty rare. And now I'm going to make this 225 color code drawings I kept track of so far. And now a 5 color combination has now come up 17 times. Okay, so like I said, it's pretty rare that all 5 colors come up. Okay, so I want you to focus on the 3 color combination. This comes up the most, 107 times out of 225 drawings. Okay, so if a 3 color combination comes up the most, then that means 2 colors are not coming up. Okay, and that's what I want to focus on here. I want to try to correctly guess what color group will not be coming up, and I want to eliminate those numbers off of my game card. Okay, so I'm going to update my game card to the March 20th. So I'm going to get rid of all these colors and start from scratch. Okay, so my color code is right here. Here's the red numbers, then the orange, green, blue, and whatever's left over is purple. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer these 15 numbers in the red area over to the game card as red numbers. Okay, so I'll start with the 14, the 20, the 30, the 54, and the 69. The next line down is the 16, the 18, 33, 37, and 50. And the last line is the 3, the 10, the 24, 46, and 63. So now I'm going to count how many red numbers I have on my game card. Okay, so none of these numbers repeated, so there should be 15. Okay, so here's 5, 9, 10, and 5 more are 15. So I'm going to put 15 up here. This tells me how many numbers I have on my game card. Okay, per color. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the orange. I'm going to transfer these 20 numbers over. So I'll start with the 11. The 20 is already taken. The 33 is already taken, so the 43, the 58. The next line down is the 26, the 27, 43, which is already taken. The 61 and the 69 is already taken. So the next line down is the 2, the 13, the 29, 58, which is already taken, and the 69 is already taken. So the last line is the 10, 16, 18, which are all taken, and then the 40 and the 66. Okay, so now I'm going to count how many I have on my game card. So I got 5, 6, 4 are 10, and 1 is 11. Okay, so now I move on to the green area, then the blue, and then what's ever left over is purple. But you can see I already did my game card here for the 20th, so I'm just going to copy and paste just to speed things up a little bit. Okay, so this is my game card for March 20th, 2023. So again, there was 15 red numbers, 11 orange, turned out to be 17 green, 13 blue, and 13 purple numbers. Okay, so having my color code like this, I found out through trial and error that with this sequence like this gives me double digit numbers per color. Okay, and it's really consistent like this. Like every drawing has double digit numbers. Okay, so when you have consistency like this, then things can get predictable. Okay, so again, I'm going to try to correctly guess what color group will not be coming up. And I'm pretty sure that one won't be, because a 5 color just came up, and again, that's really rare. I kind of doubt that another 5 color will come up. Okay, so my guess is that no orange numbers are going to come up. And the reason why is because an orange number came up in the last 6 drawings. Okay, and I noticed from all the time I've been doing this, usually streaks like this, they end around 5, 6, sometimes they go 7, and then that's about it. And then for some reason they just don't come up, like right here. You can see there's no orange numbers. Okay, so that's my guess. Plus, there's only 11 numbers, and hopefully no orange numbers will come up. Okay, so I'm going to block out these numbers off of my game card. Okay, so when I block out numbers like this means I'm not even going to consider these numbers when I'm picking what I think will be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so if I made the correct guess and none of these orange numbers come up, then I just reduce the odds for myself by a little bit. Okay, so in reducing your odds, again, if I could get this correct, then I have a better chance of winning some kind of prize in the Powerball lottery. Okay, so moving on. My next strategy is the individual numbers. Okay, so maybe you heard the saying divide and conquer. Alright, so this is what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to take a little piece at a time. Okay, so here's one pick, and hopefully these numbers don't come up, and now I'm going to try to make another pick where more numbers don't come up. Okay, so here's the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Again, it was the 14, 20, 30, 54, and 69. Okay, so here's the individual numbers. Basically what I did up here is I took all 69 numbers and I divided it into 7 different groups. Okay, so here's group number 1. It holds the numbers of 1 through 9. Of course, this is the only group with 9 numbers, where all the other 6 have 10 numbers to it for 69 numbers. Okay, so here's how the color code goes hand in hand with this. Okay, so here's the 14. It's purple. I'm going to follow this line until I find the 14 right here, and now I'm going to make this square purple. I'm making it purple because the 14 is purple. Okay, so with the 20, you can see I made it red because the 20 is red. Alright, so this 5 right here, this tells me that I hit 5 out of the 7 groups. Okay, so I made it 7 groups on purpose, okay, because I know there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers, so I know that 2 of these groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, and most of the time a 4 comes up, and I'm going to predict that this is going to be a 4 right here, so I don't think that 3 of these groups are going to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so let me show you how I use this. Okay, so I'm going to go right to the 50s here, because I've been saying in my last couple of videos a green number hasn't come up in the 50 numbers. In fact, here it is right here. Okay, so I just want to say that this big square right here, this is good for 5 drawings, And I made it that way so it will be easier for me to count going, okay, how long has a green number hasn't come up? It's been 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You know, we're going on 34 drawings here, and finally a green number comes up. Okay, I thought it was going to be the 51, but it turned out to be the 54. The 51 was also green. Okay, so I'm just going to take a quick look at all these, and I'm just going to reduce this down so you can see the whole card. Okay, so here they all are. Now what I look for is, well, first let me say that, you know, since I made this into 5 drawings, this big square right here, and I did it so it's easier for me to count, but what I noticed is that the average hits per 5 drawings is 4, like right here in the 60s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's the average. Sometimes it goes a little bit over average. Okay, so I'm looking at the 30 numbers because there's already 4 numbers here, and I'm definitely looking at the 10 through 19 numbers where there's already 5 numbers here. Again, the average is 4, so this is over average. Okay, so my prediction is that no numbers are going to be put right here. Okay, so I'm going to blow this back up. I'm going to go back to the game card, and I'm going to eliminate these numbers at 10 through 19 off of my game card. Okay, but before I do that, I want to look for a color that hasn't come up in a while. Okay, so here I have all 5 colors: red, orange, green, blue, and purple. They're all pretty close to the top. I'm looking for one that hasn't come up in a while. Okay, so here's red, orange, green, blue, purple, all right there. Red, orange, well, the green's a little bit behind. So I'm going to take a look at the 20 numbers and see if there's any green numbers in the 20s. Okay, and then moving on, I got red, orange, green, blue, purple's right down here, kind of the same. I'll look for that as in the 30s as well. So here in the 40s, I don't see an orange, okay, or a purple. So here's the orange. So it's been 5, 10, 15, 20. We're going on just about 25 drawings. So I'll look in the orange as well. The 40 numbers for an orange number. And then here I see red, orange, green. Here's blue, a little bit behind. Red, orange, green, blue. Here's the purple. Okay, so I'm going to look for, let me blow this back up. Go back to the game card. Okay, so the 20 numbers, I said a green. Then the 40 numbers, I believe, was blue. Okay, so the purple number in the 30s, I got the 34 and the 35. And then the 40s was orange. You can see I have no orange numbers because I just got rid of all the orange numbers. Okay, but there was one in the 40 and the 43. Okay, so the overall strategy here is try to eliminate numbers. Okay, so my pick, my best guess is that the 10 through 19 numbers will not have a winning Powerball number come up. Okay, so that's my best guess, so I'm going to get rid of them. So I'll get rid of the 10, 12, 14 through 17, 18, 19. So again, if I made the correct pick so far, and none of those orange numbers come up from the color code, and numbers of 10 through 19 don't come up from the individual numbers, then again, I just reduced my odds by a great deal, giving myself a better opportunity of getting some kind of prize in this Powerball lottery. Okay, so now I'm moving on to the next strategy. I call this my groups. Okay, so this is my group 4. I have group 6, group 8, and group 10. Okay, so the reason why I call this group 4 is because I simply divided all 69 numbers into 4 different color groups. Okay, so I'm just going to update this, so I'll give you a visual on how things work. Okay, so again, the winning numbers were the 14, which is in red. So I'll put 1 to here in the red. That represents that 14. And then it was the 2030 in the blue. So I'll put 2 there. And then the 54, 69 were both in green. So that was no winning Powerball numbers in the orange area. Okay, so this tells me that this hit 3 out of the 4 groups. And I'm going to keep this 3 red because the majority of the numbers came over here to the left side. If the majority came over here to the right side, I would color this green. So the reason why I do that is when I see something like this where it's been a lot of green, you know, this is like flipping a quarter of heads and tails. You know, it's only going to be red or green. You know, so how many times can a quarter come up heads before it comes up tails? You know, so I'm looking at this saying, okay, it's been green for a while. I think it's going to start to turn red, and now it's been red for a while, and now I think that this is going to be a green number. Which means I think the majority is going to be on this side, which means I think it's going to be more high numbers than low numbers. Okay, so that's something I want to keep in the back of my mind. I think there's going to be at least 3 of them from the 35 to the 69. Okay, so again, I want to eliminate numbers. If I could have correctly guessed that none of these orange numbers were going to come up, I could have eliminated all these numbers off my game card, giving myself a much better chance again at winning some kind of prize in the Powerball lottery. Okay, so I want to use this information how I can. Okay, I want to get some kind of advantage out of this. Okay, so picking a 0 out of when there's 5 numbers and only 4 colors is pretty hard. The odds are pretty stacked against you. Okay, so I want to use the strength of this. Okay, and what's the strength? Well, a triple hit comes up a lot. Okay, you can see a couple zeros right here, but they're few and far in between. So I think the majority of the numbers will be over here, but I think at least one, or maybe even both of them, will have a hit over here to have a triple hit. Okay, so if I have another hit like this, it will be a triple hit. But I'm not sure which one. So I'm going to move on. So the thing I got from this is that I believe that the majority of the numbers, at least 3 numbers, will be up here in the high side. Okay, so these are already done. Okay, so I have 7 of these option cards to choose from. And then at the end, I have an overview of all 7 option cards. Okay, so this is my overview right here. Okay, so this says in the red area that out of all 7 option cards, 5 option cards had a hit and 2 option cards had a 0 or miss to it. Okay, the blue had 1 miss, the orange had 2 misses, the green had 1 miss, for a total of 6 zeros or misses with all 7 option cards. Okay, so there's usually plenty of zeros to choose from, especially if I'm only going to try to pick one. Okay, so again, I have 7 of these option cards. I got 4 options per option card, so 4 times 7 is 28 options total. And if I feel that if I could just get one of these zeros correct out of all 28 of these options, then I'll be happy. You know, I'll knock out a bunch of numbers for myself. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next one, and that is I have a group 6. So what's the advantage here? Well, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers, and there's 6 color groups. So I know that one of these color groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so you know why do I have this? Well, it's just a different angle, you know, and it gives me better odds. Now, group 4, I can knock out. Let's say with this, let's say this orange doesn't come up again. Well, there's 8 and 8, 16, 1 17 numbers I can knock out. Okay, with this group 6, we'll look at the red. I got 3, 4, 7, and 4, 11. Okay, so I get to knock out 11 numbers here. Then I have a group 8 where I know that 3 of these color groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so my odds just increased, but I can only knock out between 8 and 9 numbers. Okay, and group 10, well, this is the best one, you know, because the odds are 50-50. You know, I know that there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers, so 5 of these color groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the odds are really good that I could get this correct with picking where the zero is going to be, but it's only going to knock out, let's see, I got 2, 4, 6, 7 numbers. Okay, so again, I just gave myself different angles. Hopefully I could pick a couple zeros here, or at least one here in the group 4, maybe a couple here in the group 6, maybe 3 or 4 here in the group 8, and then you know, a couple more here in the group 10, you know. So I'm going to move on to my next one, which is Powerball number 2. Okay, so you can see that I have, I keep track of every 3 drawings, and then I'll put a color to it, and then I'll start a new one with 3 drawings. Okay, so because I have 3 drawings, I got 3 of these Powerball groups, okay, and they're all staggered. They're all staggered, so I have at least one of these with 2 numbers at the top. Okay, so I'm going to update this one. Okay, so I'm just looking at things. I need to update one of these here. So sorry about this. Yeah, so I guess I'll do this one here because I didn't do it for some reason. Okay, so the 14 was purple. And then the 20 was orange. Okay, before I keep going here, again, you know, I'm going to be putting colors to this. So when you have 2 numbers at the top, this is the one that has the best advantage. Okay, so moving on, the 30 is green. Then the 54 is red. And the 69 is green as well, so I need to make this 2. Okay, so there's no winning Powerball numbers in the blue area, no winning Powerball numbers in the brown, and no winning Powerball numbers in the gray or the yellow. Okay, so this hit 1, 2, 3, 4 colors, and the majority is on the left side, so I'm going to color this 4 red. Whoops. Okay, so this tells me that you know, I'm making the background green because there's at least 2 drawings here with a green mark. Okay, so if there's 2 hits, I'm going to color it a light red. And if there's 3 hits, I color it a really dark red. And if there's 2 misses, then I color it a light blue. Again, if there's 3 misses, I color it a dark blue. Okay, so this gives me all kinds of separation. All right. So when I see something like this yellow that's been really cold, again, it's like flipping a quarter heads and tails here, okay? Because you can see that if you look down, you can see a bunch of 3s and 4s. A 5 means that 5 of these color groups had a hit to it, but usually it's 3 or 4, okay? So usually it's like 50-50. 4 of these color groups are going to have a miss to it, 4 of these color groups are going to have a hit to it. Okay, so over here, this tells me how many blue marks. So I got 1 blue mark, 2, 3 blue marks total. And then over here, how many triple zeros do I have? I got none. And how many triple hits? I got none as well. Okay, so the rest of these are done, which is good. Okay, so I'm going to go back to where I have the best advantage. This is what 2 numbers at the top. Okay, so I'm going to start with this group 4. And, I made so many option cards for myself so I could just cherry pick through these things. Okay, so I'm only going to, pick a 0 where I see something that's been like really, really hot. And I think it's going to start to cool down. Okay, so I don't really see anything here. Okay, so moving on. Again, I don't see anything that really sticks out. Okay, with this orange right here, you can see that, all these blue marks over here, all pretty close to the top, and then there's no blue marks here, and this orange still way down here. Okay, so I'm thinking that this is due to have an orange, a blue mark. So I'm going to put a blue mark here saying that I'm going to get rid of these orange numbers off of my game card. Okay, so the reason why I put a blue mark here, so when I go to update this, I could say, okay, none of these orange numbers came up, or one of these came up and burned me, okay? But I'm going to go with this one, and I'm going to get rid of all these orange numbers off of my game card. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 5, 6, 23, 24, 31, 32, 39, 48, 49, 57, 67, and that 43 is already gone. So I'll get rid of all those, and again, hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Again, I usually just like to pick 1. But if I see something that really sticks out, then I'll go for it as well. Okay, so one thing about this orange area right here, from the information that I have, you can see I have 2 light red, another light red, a bunch of single light reds, and it doubles up. Okay, so if this is a 0 right here, this will be a light red as well, and that will be 3 in a row. which hasn't happened yet. Okay, so over here in the blue, you can see that here's 4 in a row, 3 in a row over here, 4 in a row over here. Okay, another 4 in a row, 3 in a row, 3 in a row. Over here, this orange hasn't had that yet. It's only been 2 in a row. Okay, so I think that this, I think it's due to have 3 in a row here, so I'm going to go with this one as well. Okay, so they're all odd numbers, so I'm going to get rid of all the odd numbers over here on the left side. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 7, 9, 25, 33, 41, 51, 59, 69. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so that's it for my option cards. And again, that's the overview. So I'm going to move on to group 6. Okay, so here I got 7 option cards as well. And what I look for is something like this with this purple. I see a lot of red here. First of all, I'll look over here. I see lots of green, which tells me that the majority of the numbers have been coming up over here to the right side. And this line from here to here is 5 of these. Okay, so there's 15 drawings right here. But it's just easier for me to count. So I got 4 red marks, then another 4, so I got 8 in a row. And as you look through this, here's one with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in a row. Here's another one with 8 before, it had a blue mark to it. Here's another one with 8. So here's another situation where it's 8 in a row here of red marks, and I just kind of think that this is going to be a 0 right here. And I do believe that this is going to be a red number, so I believe that the majority of the numbers will be over here to the left side. I got the triple hit and I got the 000 over here, and you can see a triple hit comes up a lot. So I'm thinking that this red is going to have a hit to it. I'm going to mark it red. So I believe that either the 1, 5, 18, 30, 34, 35, 39, 62, 65, 66, or the 69 will be coming up in tonight's drawing. Okay, so I'm hoping that none of these purple numbers will come up. So I'm going to get rid of the 10, 11, 21, 22. So I'll get rid of the 21, 22. And then I get rid of the 9, 17, 25, 26. You can see all those numbers are gone. Then I'll get rid of this square 49, 50, 58, 59. And I'll get rid of the 50. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Oh, let me see what I have for red numbers here. I got the 1, 5, 18, 30, 34. So I got the 1 and the 34. And then I have the 35, 39, 62, 65, 66, 69. Okay, so I certainly have all these numbers left. Okay, so I'm going to move on. Again, here I go with another 8 in a row. See, a 000 hasn't come up in a while. I'm going to say this blue is going to be a 000. I think I'll be putting a 1 over here. So I'll go for that. So I'll get rid of all these odd numbers all the way up to the 23. So I'll get rid of the 1, 3, and that's it. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so the first thing that sticks out to me here is, I see a bunch of blue marks here, a couple here. But here, it starts to get interesting here. Single, 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 single. I think it's going to double up here, okay? So you can see that this has been really, really hot. And again, when's it going to cool down so it looks like this? I'm hoping it's going to start, so I'm going to go with this purple. And I'm going to get rid of the 35 to the 65, and then the 57, 58, 66, 67. Okay, so the only number that was left, well, from that, where I thought there was going to be hit, is the 34 and the 62. So I want to keep an eye on those. Okay, so moving on. Here's another 8 right here in the green. Kind of thinking that this is going to be a red number, which means the only one that could have a triple hit is this red. There's the 62 again. But I think I'll go with this green to have a miss to it. And I get rid of the 1, 10, 11, 8, 9, 17. So I'll get rid of the 8. And then the 37, 45, 46, 40, 48, 58. So I'll get rid of the 45, 46, and hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Okay, the orange is the only one that could have a triple hit. Okay, so I'll just keep that in the back of my mind. Yeah, got a couple opportunities for a triple hit here. I think this is going to be a red number, so I'm kind of looking at this orange. One that stands out to me the most is this 42. I think this is the only number left, so I'm kind of liking the 42 and the 62. And one thing that I want to point out too is I've been looking over here and I see 3 to 2, 3 to 2, 3 to 2, 3 to 2, 3 to 2. Okay, finally there's a 4 to 1. Okay, so This has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 in a row with these 3 to 2s. That's a pretty long streak. I'm going to say that this is going to be a 4 to 1, so I believe that this one is going to be more even numbers than odd numbers. Okay, so I really like the 42 and the 62 right now. So what that means is that if I pick a color group, like let's say this red, I say, hey, I think a 0 is going to be here, but it's going to knock out the 42. I'm going to say, no, I don't think so. Okay, I really think that this is going to be green. Kind of thinking this yellow for a triple hit. I still got the 54 in play. Okay, and that's it. That's all I have. So I'm going to move on to group 8. Okay, with this group 8, I'm going to go right to the overview and see what these have been doing the last couple of drawings as a whole. So I have 9 of these option cards. So I gave myself a couple extra because the odds are so good. I'm looking for a red streak, certainly this blue. Okay, so you can see that here's a 3-6, then a 6-3 came up, so I call it a flip-flop. And when that happens, I border that, okay? Because you can see that, things flip-flop a lot. So here in the yellow, you can see it hasn't flip-flopped in a while, so maybe this is going to be a 6-3. So I'm going to take a look at those yellows, the 44 through the 51. I got the 44 left. This I can see as a 000. I can see this as a 0 as well, but there's the 62, so there's the 42. There's the 44. Well, hopefully that will be one of the zeros. Hopefully that will be another 0. There's the 34 and the 44 and the 54. All right. So let's try to pick some zeros here. I think this is going to be a green number. I think I'm going to go with the red. I'll get rid of that 4. Hopefully that 4 does not come up. Okay, when I went to the overview, I kind of like this blue. Pretty good hot streak here. I'm looking at this yellow, 6 down to the 67. There's nothing there, so kind of like that. I gotta move on. See a bunch of green over here. I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number. Kind of like this green to have a hit to it. There's the 34. Moving on. I can see this being a red number over here. Kind of liking this red area and the green. Okay, I really don't see anything. Oh, this yellow. Look at this. All these single blue marks. You know, when's it going to double up or triple up? That will get rid of the 62. I don't like that. Excuse me, sorry about that. Okay, so I see a bunch of red over here. I'm thinking that this is going to be a green number. Not really seeing anything that I like, so I'm going to move on. You know, I haven't seen a really dark red in a while. I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number. There's been 2 zeros here in the 000. I think that this is going to be a 000, so I'm going to go with that. So I'll get rid of the 55, 64, and hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so I'm getting down here. I got 3, 4, 7, 10, 13 numbers. Okay, so the reason why I believe in this game so much is that one time a couple years ago I reduced the numbers down to 10, and the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers landed within those 10 numbers. Okay, I only got 2 numbers correct that day, but I look back and saying, wow, I really gave myself a really good chance at winning a really good prize. Okay, so again, that's why I believe in this game, so we'll keep on going. I got 13 numbers left. I need to get down to 5. And kind of a mixed bag over here, but I'm kind of thinking that this is going to be a green number. So I kind of like this green to have the 000 to it. So I'll get rid of the 3, 4, 27, 28. And then I'll get rid of the 35, 47, 53, 61, 65. So I'll get rid of the 53. Okay, moving on to option card number 8, add a 9. Kind of thinking that this is going to be a red number. Means I'm looking at this pink for a 000 again. I know there's no numbers left. Okay, so I told you I like the blue from the get-go, so I'm going to go with this blue. Hopefully I have a 000 to it, and I'm going to get rid of the 68. Okay, so I got 2, 5 more are 10. Okay, so I like the 62, the 54, the 54, the 34, and the 42. So I'll take a look, see if I see anything. Kind of like this red to have a 000 to it, but that would knock out the 42. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with those numbers. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 20, 30, 60, 52, and 63. Okay, so that's the numbers I'm going to go with. I like those. I'll go with the 34, the 42, the 44, 54, and 62. Give me 3 purple, 1 red, 1 blue. That's a 3 color combination. That comes up the most. So now I just need to pick a Powerball number. Okay, so the Powerball number was the 11 that just came up. So I'm looking at this, and one of the patterns that I noticed that comes up a lot is like this 6 right here. Okay, the 6 came up, then 2 numbers came up, and then the 6 comes right back up. Here it is with the 10, the 2, the 20, then the 10 comes right back up. It is with the 9, the 10, 7, 9 comes right back up. Okay, so it happens a lot. And this 4 is just like really hot right now. So I'm going to say the 4 comes up, then the 8, 11, and then I think the 4 is just going to come right back up. Okay, so hopefully that will happen. Okay, so the Powerball number for me is going to be the 4. So again, I'm going to go with the 34, 42, 44, 54, 62, and the Powerball number 4. Okay, so like Sherlock Holmes would say, it's a matter of deduction. So if, the big word here is if, these blocked out numbers don't come up, then these 5 highlighted numbers have to come up. Okay, so let's go over the odds. The odds, get all 5 white ball correct and the red ball to win that 86 million bucks. The odds are 1 in 292 million that you're going to win. Okay, my game is geared up for more of the white ball numbers. So just to get the 5 white ball numbers, the prize for that is, with the power play, is $2 million. Okay, so that $2 million prize is there every single drawing. And if you don't play the power play, then it's $1 million. Okay, but to get all 5 white ball numbers correct, the odds are 1 in 11,688,000. Okay, so in other words, you can make nearly 12 million 5-number combinations out of 69 numbers. Okay, so I don't want to give any kind of illusions that this is going to be easy to win. Okay, so another great prize to win would be 4 white ball numbers and a red ball that pays 50,000 plus the power play if you play it. You can see that the odds are just about 1 in a million. Okay, so let's go over a budget. I like to play responsibly. Okay, so if I spend $3 per drawing, there's 3 drawings per week. There's 52 weeks in the year. If I were to play every Powerball drawing for the year, it would cost me $468. Okay, so in closing, I'd just like to thank you for watching. Again, you can support my Patreon page through, you can support my channel through my Patreon page at patreon.com/decoding the Powerball. Okay, and if you'd like to give me any feedback, then please email me at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Again, there's no "the" in there, so it's just decodingpowerball@gmail.com. And as always, with $86 million on the line, I want to wish you the best of luck with your picks.